Moms, when did you realize your son learned sarcasm from you? It started on an ordinary Saturday afternoon. My husband's parents had come over, and my father-in-law was sitting in his favorite chair, reading the newspaper. We were waiting for my husband to get back from the store because his dad had asked him earlier that morning to pick up some things for dinner. When my husband finally walked through the door, 20 minutes later than he promised, his dad looked up and asked, "So, did you get the stuff?" Without missing a beat, my son, who had been sitting on the couch playing with his tablet, glanced up and said, "Yeah, Grandpa, he probably bought the whole store and had to personally count every bean." He smirked, looked back at his game, and the whole room went quiet for a second. I froze. That sharp, dry tone, that was me. My in-laws laughed politely, but my husband shot me a look that said, "I know where he learned that." I could feel my face heating up, but that wasn't the only time that day my son's sarcasm made an appearance. Later, I took him with me to the supermarket to grab some last-minute groceries. We were standing in line when a frail-looking man approached. His clothes were worn, his voice soft, and he said he hadn't eaten in 2 days. My heart sank. I reached into my purse and handed him 50 cents, the only change I had at the moment. Before I could even say anything, my son piped up, loud enough for the man and the people in line to hear. "Wow, 50 cents? In this city, that's like a 5-star meal." He said it with a grin, like it was the cleverest joke in the world. The beggar gave me a confused half smile, clearly unsure if my kid was serious or mocking him. I wanted the ground to swallow me whole. I gave the man an apologetic nod, but inside I was mortified. And then came the final straw. That night, my husband was in the living room on a phone call with one of his friends, talking about how tired he was from running errands all day. I was in the kitchen, but I could hear every word. My son, who was lying on the floor coloring, suddenly raised his voice just enough to be heard over the phone and said, "Yeah, Dad, you worked so hard, walking all the way to the store and back without even taking a nap." The way he said it, mock sincerity dripping from every word, was a carbon copy of my own sarcastic tone when I'm teasing my husband. My husband's friend laughed on the other end of the call, and my husband just stared at our son with this mix of amusement and disbelief. That's when it hit me like a punch to the chest. All those little moments where I'd used sarcasm, thinking it was harmless, even funny, my son had been soaking them up like a sponge. He wasn't just repeating my words, he was copying my exact delivery. But here's the part that really got me. The next morning, I overheard him talking to his friend on a video call. He was telling the story about the beggar at the supermarket, but this time, he said, "My mom gave him all the money she had in her purse. She's like the nicest person I know." No sarcasm, just sincerity. I stood in the doorway, my heart swelling and aching at the same time. Sure, he learned my sarcasm, but maybe, just maybe, he'd also picked up my kindness.